I feel like it's important to establish how each of us is defining, I guess, exploitation and trafficking,
Mhm.
right? Just so we can make sure we're on the same level. So for me, exploitation is, and again, I think there's a difference between consenting and consciously consenting. And I don't know how you even go about making sure that someone is fully aware about the decisions that they're going to be making. That's a whole other animal to tackle. But when it comes to exploitation, I would say that it's being coerced into doing something, whether it's physically, mentally, even geographically. Like I've been in situations where I've had companies fly me to the UK. I show up on set, and it is not something that they know contractually that I don't do, and they are hoping that I'm going to do it. But of course, me being me, I left. But not everyone would do that.
You know, in the last couple of videos, we discussed about what's going on overseas in the adult industry. That you know, they're trying to block things, and I mean, it's a total attack. These are small groups that are trying to shut down the adult industry, but it's only the beginning there. It is censorship. They say, well, there's not enough this. We have to protect the children, blah, 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 blah. But all the software that is needed is already in our systems. All you got to do is turn it on in most cases. But then there's other cases that are going on, similar to what's going on to MindGeek right now and Visa, all the accusations that are going on with them. You know, Visa had to stop doing business with MindGeek because they were being forced by court rulings that they're going to be sued. But Visa is just a bank. They're just a bank. They take money in. They have no idea what's going on with these companies. They just take in what they take in or what they're supposed to do. They're not sitting in the offices of these people. If they do something illegal, then you do take them to court, and you allow the justice to be heard in front of a court, guilty or innocent. We're innocent until proven guilty. Remember that. We're in the U.S. of A. Innocent until proven guilty. And in this case, and we've heard NCOS before, we've discussed them before. All claims dismissed in NESCOS-sponsored trafficking suit against several adult studios. And this is out of here. This is out of Los Angeles here. All claims made by Jane Doe plaintiff against several adult studios in a lawsuit sponsored by a religious-motivated anti-porn lobby, NCOS, formerly Morality and Media, were dismissed last month, court records show. On August 19th, the Jane Doe plaintiff and the defendants Diabolic Video Productions, Black Ice Ltd., Zero Tolerance Entertainment, and Third Degree Films filed a joint motion to dismiss all the claims with prejudice, meaning they cannot be refiled. Typically, these types of joint motions are the result of a deal or settlement having been reached out of the court, legal experts told XBiz. San Diego Judge Michael Agnello granted a joint dismissal motion in August. As XBiz reported, in March 21, in an unusual decision, Agnello ruled that although the contracts signed by former performers were valid, the arbitration agreements that they were part of should have been disregarded, and the lawsuits could move forward. According to the complaint Doe filed with the aid of an anti-porn lobby, NOSCOS, she briefly worked in the adult industry around 2009 to 2010. At the time, she alleges she was represented by someone named Sissy Steele, aka Sissy Gerald, a person claiming to be an adult modeling agent. Doe claimed that her relationship with Steele, who is cited as a main co-defendant, will fall under the definition of human trafficking. The complaint also named a number of adult studios sites activated a decade ago as co-defendants on the basis that they distributed scenes allegedly featuring the Jane Doe. The lawsuit was promoting worldwide by NOSCOS as a landmark moment in the anti-porn crusade. The the group has been waging since the early 1960s. In September 2020, Noskos issued a press statement headline Noskos Law Center files the first ever anti-trafficking lawsuit against pornography producers on the behalf of a survivor. The item was picked up by the mainstream outlets and also disseminated by Noskos' fellow war and porn advocate groups. The suit alleges the studios were instrumental in knowing, aiding, abetting, and facilitating and participating in Steele's sex trafficking scheme, while knowing or in reckless disregard of the fact that she would be used the means of force, fraud, and coercion to force Jane Doe into engaging into a commercial sex acts in violation of the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act. Our clients had nothing to do with the alleged sex trafficking that occurred over a decade ago. The studio's attorney, John Buffalo Law Lipscomb Green Scheme Cambretta, told XBiz at the time of the March 2020 ruling. See, there's a lot of situations out there. Yes, there is human trafficking in the adult industry, and a lot of the big companies are not really involved. They're not really involved. This is just this same group that's been around for a long time that's been trying to shut down the adult industry. Is there problems in the adult industry? Yes, of course. Like every other company, every other agency, every other group, you're going to have issues. And you have to weed this out. A lot of the big companies now these days, they don't want to deal with this. They don't want to deal with the human trafficking. They don't. Let's put it in this perspective. There's enough models out there that they do not need to go out and get models illegally. You've seen tons in Twitter, OnlyFans, straight across the board. And there are a lot of these girls that are independent themselves, that they're their own agent. And they've had made a ton of money considering what they've been through. Now, every once in a while, you're going to get one that falls through the crack. One of the major things, and this is not only the porn industry, this is also in Hollywood itself. There are agencies out there. Now, I can't speak for this particular agency that's mentioned here, but there are agencies, and I've seen them. In fact, someone tried to recruit me to work for them to get on there, to gather children for commercials and stuff. And when you look at the contracts and stuff like that, you know immediately it's all wrong. There was one company that tried to hire me, and it seemed legitimate. And as I was going through their paperwork, before I signed the dotted line to work for them, I looked on the papers that they were handing out to and what they wanted me to do, and I saw there were some things that were said that, how can I put it, that would screw the parents out of millions of dollars. Not every agent is there to back you. You have to do your due diligence. You know, people, they think oh yeah, you're in the adult industry, and this was in the mid 2000s. The internet is in heavy, in overdrive at this point. And you're saying to yourself, oh, I'm going to make money. This person's going to get me film. And it turns into sex trafficking. Got a question on it, and did she sign contracts, anything to the nature? Because basically, if she signed contracts with this particular person, and she's shit out of luck. This case, like this happened with this case is dismissed out for that reason. If you're sex trafficked, human trafficked on there, that means they have you, held you, and basically didn't allow you to go anywhere. Was that possible? I didn't see anything like that in this case. Maybe I got to look a little deep, a little bit more further into it, but I didn't see anything as far as the overview of this case. Nothing like that was said. It's similar to the case that's going on with MindGeek, where the girl says she was 13 years old. Her boyfriend made videos of them having sex, and he uploaded it to Pornhub and a couple other sites. Now, whose fault is that? The guy who uploaded it. Exactly. You know. If you tell Pornhub, say, listen, that girl's underage on that, they're going to pull it off. They don't want that on there. They don't want that on there. They don't want human trafficking on there. They don't want those issues. There are plenty of men and women in the adult industry, whether they're straight, gay, trans, on there. Industry is a billion-dollar industry. The big companies like Tolerance and all that, they don't want to be known for that. There might be some smaller ones out there that, yeah, those are the ones you got to weed out. But hey, listen, you know, those come and go. You know, there's always, when 10 of them go, there's 5 of them come back up. You know, this is the things that happen in this industry. And this happens, you know, regular Hollywood movies too. You know, this is things that, you know, you don't believe. There are dark parts of the entertainment business, whether it's wrestling, whether it's porn, animation, you know, there are seedy, dark portions of it. But you gotta know the difference between a corporation and someone who just basically is a shyster or, you know, a flim-flam person, you know. Especially when you're negotiating with contracts. If you have a talent agency, you better goddamn have a lawyer also looking at this. See, most people don't think they like, oh, I got a talent agency, they'll handle me. They have their lawyer. Like, no. Get yourself a separate lawyer. Get yourself there are entertainment lawyers. There are YouTube lawyers these days also. Think about that for a minute. Why is there? Because there are a lot of issues in the business. Same thing with the porn industry. I worked on the back end of that industry. Trust me, there are a lot of dark sides, and then there's also sides that, you know, hey, there are some people out there who made a good business out of it. You know, this is going to be an occurrence. It's going to be an occurrence, but you got to know the difference between censorship, activism, and legitimate legal procedure. Innocent until proven guilty. Always remember that. Most of these things are handled by people that attack the porn industry are the same people who have been doing it for decades. They've been in this country, they've been attacking the porn industry, trying to shut it down. So we'll continue to monitor this because I know there's a lot more coming from this eventually in the end. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, like, share, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.